So let's talk about starting over because honestly, at 25, I've already had to do it more than once. Hi, welcome back to another video of me, your girl Hinata, who's a 20 something going through her 20 something journey. And I'm out here sharing my life and my experiences because sometimes we just need a friend to go through it. And I'm your friend, you are mine, and we're here sharing this journey together. Have you ever felt like you wasted time because you started something and then in the middle of it realized that it wasn't for you? Back in high school, when I started thinking of what I was going to study in college, I wasn't really sure what to choose because the things that I could study didn't sound as inviting or amazing and didn't feel like something that I would want to do for the rest of my life. So I decided to study business. I went the business route because I thought that if I learn how to have my own business, then I could be as creative as I am and make something of my own. And I don't think that was for me. Yeah, the only reason why I paid attention, went to classes, and gave it my most is because I was doing pole vault and I wanted to do well to be able to compete. I felt like I had to stick with it because it had been the thing that I already chosen. So I kept on studying business for 4 more years. I felt completely lost and unaligned with what I was doing. As time went by, I also grew apart from pole vault and life happened and I had to take a break from college because I was living away from the city. In that time, I sat down with myself and I was like, I really don't feel like this is for me. Like I want to do this for the rest of my life. And I did quit college. My mom would constantly talk to me about going back to college, finishing my degree, because I didn't have that much left. It was like a year, maybe a year and a half. I would literally cry myself thinking that I just don't want to finish something that doesn't feel like it's for me and I'm just doing it because I want to make them happy. Started doing my own thing. I was dancing, I was working at the club, but I was also starting to sell clothes at the club. I started sewing outfits for the girls and outfits for me. And in that process, my mom talked to me about going back to school for fashion. When I was a little girl, I think I've talked about this before here in my channel, but when I was a little girl, I would always say that when I was older, I was gonna be a fashion designer. In the process of life, that idea drifted away. I didn't know it was like a thing I could do here in Puerto Rico, and I decided to go to fashion school. It sounds crazy, but I did. From going to I'm never gonna study again to then, okay, I'm gonna start a whole new degree in fashion, which is an 180 real quick, but it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. Sometimes we feel like quitting means we failed. I don't know about you guys, but my parents would constantly push me to finish things because they didn't want me to quit halfway there and start this pattern of failing in things that I tried once. But I've come to realize that quitting at the middle of something when you do it with intention sometimes means that that wasn't for you, and that's totally fine. Social media usually highlights the good parts of our life. We're often inclined to posting the good things that happen instead of the bad ones, and I think that this also gives us a wrong perspective about other people's lives because we think that they made it or they're constantly having W, but we don't see the whole process behind every aspect of their lives. We don't see how many times they've had to quit before being able to achieve whatever the goal they're sharing with us. This gives us an idea that when we quit, we're doing something wrong because look at that person, they have it all figured out. But all of us are trying to figure out life as we go. That's what living is all about. You don't have to have it all figured out, especially in your 20s when you're just a baby adult. Nobody does. And if you try something and you don't like it and you start something new, at least you're brave enough to start something and not just stay with whatever you had chosen just because you started that, just because you're comfortable in that place. Being uncomfortable is very hard, and not everyone does that. Life isn't linear. We always imagine going from point A to point B in a very straightforward way, but life is like this, where we're going up and down constantly, and when we least expect it, it all just turns around. I know it has happened to you because it happens to all of us. And it's okay. It's okay to not have it all figured out. You can have an idea of what you want for your future. You can have a guiding star to where you want to move towards, but it doesn't mean that that is exactly the path you have to go through. Maybe it didn't work out for you and you have to go another way. And maybe that was your whole life's purpose. Choosing something, not being good at that, and then going some other route and maybe taking what you learned from this part to the other part. You know, life is crazy and funny like that. Everyone has their own timeline. I know that I understood this when I was dancing at the club. I had quit college. I didn't exactly know what I was gonna do with the rest of my life. And I saw most of my college classmates graduating from college. I saw that many of my high school classmates had things going on in their life. They had already their jobs, or they were marrying people, having houses, buying cars. It was like very different perspectives of people around the same age of me. My life and my timeline, it's gonna be different from everyone else's, and everyone else's is different from the other one because we all go through different things and we all choose different paths, and we don't have to feel like we're behind just because we're starting over. Starting over means you're actually really close to finding out what's for you, what you want. At 25, I am studying fashion, but even if I had realized this at 30, 40, 50 years old, it would still be valid because there is no deadline to creating the life you want. So if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling behind, let this be a reminder that it's okay to start again. You're not behind, you're just on your own path. And if nobody has told you today, I am proud that you're even trying. I guess I just wanted to come here, sit down, and have a little FaceTime chat where I motivated you and myself to never be afraid to start over because that's just life. So thank you so much for being here, listening to me, and I hope this can be of some help to you. And I'll see you in next week's video. Bye.